GYMDAD Fitness. Today we have Dark Laboratories back on the channel. Well, Dark Laboratories here. We're getting this is no unfamiliar territory here. We're dealing with everyone on my channel has seen these products here and there, and and I've hit a few of them. We've hit Hurolene, we've hit Dark Labs Crack Purple, the one with the illicit 1.3 claimed in it, and then we hit the Crack OG, the hardcore Alpha Yo Slapper. We hit the Gold versus Barbarian way back when the channel first started. That was a Crack Gold, the previous version with the geranium stems and leaves extract versus the Barbarian, which was the Crack Dark Labs amp citrate product. And so this is the Crack Purple, and this one is from this one is the Berry Berry flavor, and this is a updated run purchased from Supplocker, owner of Supplocker, awesome dude. Definitely check those guys out. He wanted to let me know that my brother actually got this one when he bought Lockdown, and so my brother. That's one of the cool things. You guys should get yourselves a brother of some sort. If you don't have a blood brother, find yourself a close friend and get them in on pre-workouts with you as well. But a lot of you guys probably wonder, sometimes I get things for free, sometimes I buy it. Just want to be 100% straight with you guys, and sometimes my brother buys it and then lets me borrow it, or I'll send him it. I'll give him another product. I'll give him a shit ton of samples for his pre. And so this is one of those times that he purchased one. I'm like, hey, go on. He asked me if there's anything that looked interesting, and I told him to get this one. I want to hit it for review. So one of the cool little things about the review channel. So shout out to you, man. Appreciate it. He catches my reviews usually catches them kind of in loads, watches them like 3 or 4 at a time. But this is Crack Purple. This is the second run, like I mentioned, at supplocker.com. And we have the berry berry flavor, which I think I just repeated that. But this one claims on the back 10 grams for 1 scoop, 20 grams for 2 scoop. So we're going to do 2 scoop. And everyone out there probably thinks I'm just trying to be some sort of fucking clown using a bluey shaker bottle. But the real story is these things, they're pretty damn good at not spilling. And sometimes I forget my shaker bottle, and I got barricade up here for the day for work. And right now is the end of the day, and I don't really want to go downstairs and get a shaker. So went to my kid's room and scavenged around to see what was laying around. 1 scoop comes in 11.63. I'm doing this straight on the lid here. 2 scoops comes in at 23.57. So a couple grams over. I mean, I could go through and, I get pretty aggressive with those damn scoops. So I don't want to dock Dark Labs. Let's just give them 2 flat levels real quick. Because a lot of people put a lot of hard work and effort into this for me to go, and yeah, 20.9 on the 2 flat levels. So Dark Labs is on the money, man. I'm not going to go let my aggressive scoop taken tarnish the good Dark Labs name. But anyway, like, no introductions needed for Crack Purple. You guys kind of know the gist. You know that there was a remake of it, and that but the word is that the first run was so-so, and this next run is supposed to be pretty damn good in its own way, in its own right. So this is that second run. This is the one per owner of Heistem, or owner of Supplocker at supplocker.com. This should be the one that's got the goods in it. Well, they both had goods. Let's not get it. I mean, I watched all the reviews, every single one of them from my favorite reviewers, and it just seems like it's an overall different product is what I'm getting at. And I don't want to go on a whole rant, but I almost think the Dark Labs may have been better suited to let the past be the past. Let the gold be the gold from the past and the purple be the purple, and let's move on and let's create some new products. I don't know, maybe they had a shit ton of purple labels laying around, but that could be the case too, because these are different shapes. And I know the shape changed, and I know they slightly changed the shade of gold. So I don't know, maybe they thought that was enough. But I always thought the same with like legit V2. They would have been better suited to do like a legit chrome and do like an all black one with like chrome skulls on the thing, chrome and gold skulls or something like that. But I think Crack Purple could have done something like that too. Like, they could have kept it, like they could have called it Crack Purple, but like got a little more crazier with the design, just to differentiate it a little bit, not make it look exactly like, here it is. mean, outside of there's more of a chrome look on the letters, but outside of that, it's pretty much the exact same design color. Like let's get a little wild with it and make it feel like you're getting yourself a different product. So I think they kind of set themselves up for those comparisons with the other crack purple. While we're doing the taste test, we might as well go and hit the label. No artificial color in this one either. Very, very strong in the flavor. Then again, I didn't have much water in here. Very sour, potent, tart, but it's good. It's no bitter aftertaste. It's extremely potent. But I use like 6 ounces of water, so that's on me. But all in all, really good flavor. Nope, not much chemically aftertaste too. A little concerning almost. But I'll give it like a 9 out of 10 flavor wise. But breakdown label. Starting from the top, pure citrulline, 8 grams, beta-alanine, 3 grams, amytine sulfate, 1 gram, chlorine bititrate, 500 milligrams, caffeine anhydrous, 400. That's a good spot right there. We like that. Oriogenesis at 300, 2-amino at 240, caffeine citrate at 200, halostashine at 50 milligrams, alpha-yohimbine, 2 milligrams. So key highlights for me is caffeine's pretty damn high here. We're looking at caffeine citrate, 200 milligrams. That's the fast acting, gonna hit you quick. But it yields like 60-70%, something like that. So we're looking around like 150 right there, like 550 milligrams of caffeine with 2 scoops of this bad boy. 240 2-amino obviously is going to catch your attention. Rye at 300's nothing to slouch on. And then the alpha-yohimbine at 2 grams. And I don't think the original purple had alpha-yo, so that's a little bit of a difference. So now let's get into the effects of this one after running the crack purple 2 times for this one. GYMDAD Fitness, time to get into the label breakdown and effects. Oh, grab the wrong damn one. This is the 1-3 crack purple, and we label it, breakdown and effects of the new one right here, the new Dark Labs, the future of Dark Labs crack purple. And all in all, I might end up tossing this taste test, so I'll just go through it in there real quick. Really good taste. Amazing taste, actually. Very strong, very potent, no artificial colors in it, so a little bit different than the normal one. Like this one, I think when I had the berry cherry or whatever, or berry, it was like dark blue. But a little side note too, scooper's pretty accurate. Comes in a little thick. It was like 22 point something grams at 2 levels, which of the old Dark Labs one, it was 2 heaping scoops to get you to the 17 grams. Yeah, this one is the 2 flat level, so if you're used to seeing Dark Labs and taking heaping scoops, you could still do that if you want, but you don't need to get to the grammage. But all in all, okay, label breakdown. Here we go. We'll do the 2 scoop breakdown. Citrulline, 8 whopping grams. Beta-alanine, 3 grams. Agmatine sulfate, 1 gram. Chlorine bititrate, 500 milligrams. Caffeine anhydrous, 400 milligrams. And then we have Oriogenesis, 300 milligrams. And then we have 2-amino, 240 milligrams. Caffeine citrate, 200 milligrams. And then halostashine, 50 milligrams. And then alpha-yo, 2 milligrams. And to be honest, I was thinking they had 3 types of caffeine, and now this makes a lot more sense that there's 200, the fast-acting caffeine, because let's get into the effects. So this one comes in extremely fast, which makes sense now that I'm seeing this, and this explains a lot of my experience. The 200 freaking milligrams of caffeine citrate, that's a fast-acting caffeine, combo with the alpha-yo, is going to create this like bottle rocket sense of urgency where you got to get to the fucking gym like absolutely pronto, to the point where like you're stretching out and you're almost like a little bit uncomfortable slapping in so hard. I wouldn't say it's probably just a notch down from crack OG. I trained on this one twice in the afternoon time. I thought it was absolutely perfect. Morning time, I almost felt like a little bit of nausea with it, if you've ever felt that when you're a little too stimmed out. But hold on, because I still enjoy my experience, so I'll break into my morning time training, which I did today. But at 4 o'clock, it was awesome. Like, I was exhausted from the long day, getting up early, stuff like that, and it was just what I wanted for that like initial hit. So it depends what time of the day you train and kind of how like pre's make you feel. It's a lot of caffeine you got going on here with the caffeine anhydrase at 400 and the citrate at 200, 600 milligrams, but yielding like 340, 350 kind of range, or 550, 540 kind of range. So this is heavy caffeine content right here, and very, very energetic early hit of this pre. And then after you let this thing simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes, it's all straight energy for that first 20 to 30 minutes. There's not really any euphoric add other than like the euphoria that you normally get with stimulants, like when you drink an energy drink, stuff like that. And then about the 45 to 50 minute mark, I would say, after the caffeine citrates kind of played its role and the initial alpha yolk kicks took action, the euphoria kind of takes over, that 240 milligrams of 2-amino. Now, this is not Crack Purple 1-3. So to be honest, like, this is a whole new pre. I know that I'm not the first reviewer that said this, but at the same time, you can't blame people for like comparing it to that. Obviously, they're going to compare it to that. I think that Dark Labs kind of did themselves a little bit of a disservice by making it look so damn similar in packaging. I mean, it's only just the height of it is different. To me, it would have been badass if they wanted to still capitalize on the nostalgia of Crack Purple, go with like the initial kind of look, but then do like a chrome purple and like maybe update the design a little bit, like throw, just change something up a little bit so it's still like purple bottle, but like the design and everything's different. I mean, it's identical, just taller. So, I mean, it does make sense because like the label, it's not a label thing where they're trying to save cash and use labels they had laying around or something like that. And Dark Labs, they're big dogs. They don't need to be cut corners like that. But I think that they're trying to capitalize on the nostalgia and trying to keep it a little too similar to the original design. So that's just one little thing, one little side note I had. Only like real like pet peeve I had for this one and thoughts on it and little feedback. Because at the end of the day, this is a review channel. I report to the people. I'm not a freaking dancing monkey for these supplement companies. And sometimes I feel like sometimes reviewers get those wires crossed. They're out there promoing companies just for free shit and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, some companies do send me free shit, but at the end of the day, if you send me free shit, I'm still going to give me my 2 cents on it. And obviously, Dark Labs, I'm not a big enough deal to get stuff from them yet. But anyway. Effects, back to the effects here. So the energy is fast, hard hitting. Euphoria takes over 40 to 50 minutes. It's not as happy as Miniaco. I would compare it like the euphoric level of Crack OG, just less hard hitting early on and less hard. And that Crack OG was hard hitting the whole freaking way through. While Crack Purple, it's hard hitting early with that caffeine citrate, that rhodiogenesis, that alpha yohimine coming on, and then it dissipates nicely. So let's say just hold on to your britches if you're a little overwhelmed when this thing comes in and you think that this is too much for you. So because this thing's hard hitting, but it does dissipate. So just worry, once it hits that peak, just know this thing's coming down and it's going to be a nice ride. Because once this thing came down, it was euphoric as hell in that back half. It was a sweaty workout, an intense workout. Honestly, this is extremely well balanced. Amazing pumps. We'd be freaking out if we saw 8 grams pure citrulline. I think the original Crack Purple had 8 grams citrulline malate. So, and then this also has 1 gram of agmatine as well. So pumps are outrageous on this as well. And as well is along with the sweatiness of the pre. So you're gonna look pumped as heck when you're training on this thing. But star of the show for me was the initial slap and the decent, above average euphoric vibe, the good source 2-amino. I mean, Dark Labs, we got to give these guys their flowers. I think people like to tear down legends. And we in America, we love to tear people down when they get built up, and then as soon as they hit rock bottom, we love to see a comeback. And I think we just need to respect Dark Labs and enjoy them for what they've done for us for these past few years. And we got to give these guys their flowers and thank them for what they've accomplished and how they're still putting the good shit in there. We've seen so many companies start off by putting good shit in, and then they switch over to some sort of GNC label design so they can get more money. But Dark Labs has stayed with you, even though they've removed the 1-3, they've still stayed with those gray area stuff. And I know there's been changes in manufacturing, but they're still staying consistent to their target market group. So we have to respect them for that they're not selling out like a bunch of stooges. But anyway, this one is a great pre. Well-rounded, scoring-wise. I give this thing 9 out of 10 on pumps, 9 out of 10 on euphoria. Raw energy, I'm actually going to give it a 9 out of 10, and not because it had enough, but it was almost a little bit too much. I probably would have liked a little less caffeine with this one, maybe drawn back the caffeine citrate by 100 and the caffeine anhydrous by 100, and get this thing to a flat 400 altogether, but yielding around 340, 350. And that's one of the rare times I've not given it a 9 out of 10 based upon not having enough energy, but a 9 out of 10 because I had too much energy. And that goes with sense of urgency as well. Another 9 out of 10 because it was a little too much sense of urgency for me. You know, I mean, you guys have watched enough of my reviews, and I'm coming off about a 4-day stim break, but I hit a couple pretty hard pre's the last few days just because I have a lot in the backlog to hit up. And so you got to take that into account too. I'm probably, like, if I had to grade myself like as a stim junkie scale, I'm like mid-high right now as far as like tolerance. There's definitely people, I have friends out there that definitely can take more, and they probably would really enjoy the caffeine level and alpha U level at this one, but to me it was just a bit much. I like to keep my caffeine within the 450 and below range, so this one creeps up a little too much. Definitely in that crack OG caffeine range, but anyway, very well scored, nice product, great product. It's different, it's unique, it's something a little different than the original Dark Labs Crack Purple 1.3, but I mean, it's still worth it, man. I mean, honestly, if this had a different name on it, we'd be put right up there with legit V2, Miniaco, man, I'm trying to think whatever Alpha Yo slappers we've had this year have been hell of a product. You know, I'm blanking right now, but the first two that pop in my mind are like legit V2s and Miniacos. Obviously not as euphoric as a Miniaco with a 300 caffeine or 2 amino, and the lower caffeine level really allowed that 2 amino to shine, but still an amazing product in its own. Definitely packs a punch. I would say if you're looking for a Dark Labs product that's euphoric and buzzing with a slap, but like you don't want something as intense as Crack OG, this is like a notch down from Crack OG. But all in all, amazing. I can't compare it to the new gold yet because I haven't got my hands on the new gold, but I'll try to get that one in the future. But like, subscribe, check this one out, and check out Dark Labs. Obviously, no surprise to anyone on this review, but this one came from Suplocker as well. I got to mention that too, give those guys a plug. Definitely check out Suplocker if you want this pre. I know they still have a few units left. They might have had, I know the owner, Evan, mentioned that they might have had to pull them down due to some payment processing issues. So if you reach out to him, he's actually got to get this. I do remember now, it's clicking. He said he could get this thing for a crazy good price. I want to say it's like 45 or maybe even lower than that. I can't remember. But reach out to Evan from Suplocker. Just email the contact info on the website. But GYMDAD Fitness, catch you on the next review.